Mediocrity is very common. It means being average. Average people are average. Mediocrity is for losers. The reason mediocrity is for losers is given the choice of 5 places to eat lunch, are you going to pick the mediocre one? Given the choice of 5 people to hire, are you going to pick the mediocre one? In fact, in our Google-fueled world where you have a choice of 1 million things for every topic, who picks average? Who picks mediocre? Nobody. So as a salesperson, you have a big problem because there's all this pressure on you to be average, all this pressure to have a bigger kit bag, selling more items, all this pressure to call on more and more people, offering them more and more, to fit in, to wear the same clothes as every other salesperson, to show up the same way as every other salesperson, make the same pitch, and be cheaper.
And I can't explain it, but you better feel me. Winners win and losers lose.
Nobody wins it cheaper except for maybe Walmart. That the big win is when you refuse to settle for average or mediocre. And you say, I'm going to give up 90% of what I could do.
And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
The only way to win is to be talked about, because you can't advertise your way, you can't spam your way, you can't call your way into a presence. You get there by people talk about you.
You always want to blame other people. You always want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation.
But no one talks about, oh, I know this really average carpeting salesman. Never. Right? What they talk about is the barefoot carpeting salesman who doesn't wear shoes, and here's why, and let me tell you about what happened when I bought something, blah, blah, and that spreads the word. Well, what you do for a living if you're a salesperson is not take orders, because they can outsource that, or put it on the web. What you do as a salesperson is not bother people into buying from you, because that's not a scalable strategy. What you do as a salesperson is you communicate emotion.
There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse.
And the only people who are going to listen to you are the people who were pre-sold on you because someone told them about what you do and how you do it.
We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves.
At what point in your life did you make a decision that mediocrity is not for you?
I started my blog about 5 years ago. If you type Seth into Google, you'll find it. And along the way, people have said, why don't you have Twitter? Why don't you have video? Why don't you have a podcast? Why don't you have comments? Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? And there's lots of things I could have done. And if I had done those things, I wouldn't have had the blog I have today.
The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time? You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you?
What I'm really focused on is what kind of email do I get? Do I get email from people who say, yeah, I look at your blog every once in a while? Or do I get email from people who say, I've been reading it for 6 weeks and look what I changed in my life. Thank you for inspiring me to do that. And that's what gets me out of bed to do it every day.
You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no, we working out now. No more alcohol, not right now. No, I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something.
The goal is to have a bunch of good runs before the sun sets. And so what great salespeople do is not get through one dip and say, I'm done, I'm going to the beach. They look for the next dip, because that's all life is a series of dips. That's why we're here.
There is no excuse for not living up to your fullest potential. No excuse. I know what the grind is like. I was homeless. I ate out of trash can. Now, go on the internet right now. I'm one of the #1 speakers in the world. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said I'm going to grind. You finally made it to the big leagues, and now you want to chill? Now you got the big head? Now you can't grind? You here now. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press toward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. You made it now. You made it now. You in the big leagues now. They watching you now. This is where you make it permanent. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. Perfect. No, practice don't make perfect. Practice make permanence. You get from being a loser, low self-esteem, doubt, and fear. And if you can find your way on this side, guys, it's sweeter on this side. We want people to make guarantees to us, but we're not willing to make guarantees to ourselves. This is permanent, y'all. This is permanent. You can go wherever you want to go from here. You've never looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you let you down. It does not take talent. You don't have to be talented. Right? You don't have to be gifted. You don't have to be the quickest, the strongest. That's what you got to do. You just got to grind, though. Your grind, you got to out-grind. The reason why I'm not successful is because of my boss. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, I'm not getting up on time? You better get beat by somebody that's just purely more talented than you are. You better not ever get beat by somebody because you beat yourself. I have standards. I have values. I don't care how much you pay me. If I speak at an elementary school for $300, I chose to do that. You always want to blame other people. You want to hold other people to the fire, but you're not holding yourself to the fire. You just said you're giving 50%. You owe you an explanation. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You have to take advantage of an opportunity of a lifetime in the lifetime of the opportunity. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts, no more, no, we working out now. No more alcohol, not right now. No, I can't handle it right now. You need to tell you that you owe you something. I value myself enough to give 120% or don't do it.
One of the functions of belief is taking action. We did a survey of about 2,000 top entrepreneurs, and we noticed that one of the things that people who win in that world have is a bias for action.
You cannot lose by taking action. You can only lose by not taking action. I think the great majority of people surrounded by the greatest opportunities in the best country in the history of man on earth who don't succeed are people who are on the island. You've always got a reason for not taking action. And if you delay taking action repeatedly over and over again, you develop the habit of never taking action. You get to develop the habit of procrastinating and holding back and so on.
There are so many people in the world, and you know, you may be watching this right now, and you have these incredible ideas, and what you think is missing is motivation. And that's not true, because the way that our minds are wired and the fact about human beings is that we are not designed to do things that are uncomfortable or scary or difficult. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things because our brains are trying to keep us alive.
How many of you have ever had a great idea, talked about it, thought about it, didn't do it, and then someone else did it and was successful, and you went, darn, I should have done that?
And in order to change, in order to build a business, in order to be the best parent, the best spouse, to do all those things that you know you want to do with your life, with your work, with your dreams, you're going to have to do things that are difficult, uncertain, or scary, which sets up this problem for all of us.
Take action. So many people talk about doing something or say, what if? They don't actually get up and do it. Taking action is really, really important. In 1998, when I was working for another company, I was umming and ahhing of whether to set up my own business. I didn't have a lot of money, but I decided to take action and I decided to do it. But I did it in a very planned way. I knew exactly what I was going to do. I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve. But the most important thing, I took action. Within 2 or 3 years, I was a millionaire again. Probably the best thing that I ever did. So taking action is absolutely vital.
You're never going to feel like it. Motivation's garbage. You only feel motivated to do the things that are easy. One of the hardest things to figure out was, why is it so hard to do the little things that would improve my life?
You got to be willing to take the action. Now, there's two kinds of actions. Outer action, what we call the action journey. You're out in the world, you're doing things. And there's inner actions, which are things like meditation and visualization and affirmations. We'll talk about that. Research now seems to indicate that 1 hour of inner action is worth 7 hours of out in the world action.
The way that our minds are designed is our minds are designed to stop you at all costs from doing anything that might hurt you. The way that this all happens is it all starts with something super subtle that none of us ever catch. And that is with this habit that all of us have that nobody's talking about. and make a decision to act in a way that actually shifts your marriage. Your life comes down to your decisions, and if you change your decisions, you will change everything.
Just through years in the gym, through wins, through losses, through life, I just realized that if you say it to yourself and you look yourself in the eye and look yourself in the mirror and truly believe that not a man alive can beat you, then that is the way it is. And just through hours in the gym and preparation, I feel that I am untouchable right now. Everything I do in my life is related to this. I don't do nothing else if it's not got to do with fighting. You know what I mean? And that is why, you know what I mean? To be true,
Is that nearly...
all you've got to do is show up.
Is that not unhealthy?
I don't know. Do I look unhealthy? Take a look at this physique. I'm in phenomenal shape, in body and mind. To me, what's unhealthy is living an unhealthy life. To me, what's unhealthy is getting up and going through the same day every day of your life, 9 to 5, in an office or in a... You know what I mean? That's unhealthy. That beats your mind. I don't work. I love what I do, and that's why I'm doing what I love. You know what I mean? That's why it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. I mean, it's my life. I'm enjoying the fruits of my hard work. Nobody works harder than me inside the octagon, outside the octagon. I am a workhorse, so I'm going to enjoy the benefits of this life. I'm going to get myself a big mansion in Las Vegas. I'm going to get the soft top cars. I'm going to bring my whole team out. I'm going to spoil them and give them this life. Gratitude is one of the most strongest forms of power in attracting good things. You know, if you truly feel grateful for the things in your life, I always felt grateful for even the small things. I always used to celebrate the small things. Now I might be celebrating the bigger things, but I always celebrate every little good thing that would happen to me in my life. Even before I had any kind of money or any of that, I would celebrate and I would feel grateful for it, and it just gave me more. And this is exactly the same thing that's happening right now. I still remain grateful, and more comes.
I knew I was going to prove to people that I'm a true fighter. It doesn't matter who it is. I show up. I'm a professional. I come in here and I fight, and I'm confident in my abilities. I just honestly want to say thank you to my team, my family, everyone that's come up with me, because it's a tight circle, and the Irish people that support me. I swear to God, I've done this for us. I've done it for us.
I wouldn't trade this life for anything or anyone.
Like Lorenzo said, it's about going from here to here to here to here, and that's where I'm going. It's round in circles up, so it will continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger until I am finished.
That every successful person has to do, including you. Believe it or not, every successful person in this world has jumped. You are going to have to jump. You cannot just exist in this life. You have got to try to live. If you are waking up thinking that there's got to be more to your life than it is, man, believe that it is. Believe in your heart of hearts that it is. But to get to that life, you're going to have to jump. See, God, when He created all of us, He gave every last one of us a gift at birth. He never created a soul without endowing them with a gift. You just got to quit looking at gifts as running, jumping, singing, dancing. It's more than that. It's if you know how to network, if you can connect dots, if you draw, if you teach. Some of y'all fry chicken better than anybody else, bake pie. Some of you cut hair, color hair. Some people do grass. I got a partner, man, who never wanted to go out with us because we stayed out too late. Come on, man, go out with. Now I got to get up early, Mom, cutting Miss Johnson's grass. We kept laughing at this dude, cutting grass. How much they pay you? I got a partner on a detail shop, make $800,000 a year detailing cars. He got 6 mobile trucks running around. $800,000 a year. All he do is detail cars. That's his gift. That's what he loved to do. You've got to identify that gift. Now listen to me. When you see people in life, when you're standing on the cliff of life and you see people soaring by, when you see people soaring, going to exotic places, you hear about them doing wonderful things. Maybe you look up the street and your neighbor just gets a car every year, every 2 years. You know, how is he doing that? Have you ever thought, maybe this person right here has identified their gift and is living in their gift? Your gift will make room for you. Your gift, not your education. You go get an education, that's nice. But if you don't use your gift, that education only gonna take you so far. It's your gift. But the only way for you to soar is you got to jump. You got to take that gift that's packed away on your back. You got to jump off that cliff and pull that cord. And if you're getting up going to work on a job every day that you hate going to, that ain't living, man. You just existed. At one point in time, you ought to see what living's like. But the only way to see what living like, you got to jump. I want you to dream. You a freshman, go for it. You a sophomore, go for it. You a junior, you got a little bit more time. If you are a senior, you should be no dreaming right now. No more dreaming. If you are a senior, dreaming is over. It's over. Like, I need specifics. When you first jump, let me tell you something. Your parachute will not open right away. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. I wish I could tell you it did, but it don't. When you jump, it's not going to open right away. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. You're going to hit them rocks. You're going to get some skin tore off on them cliffs. You're going to get all your clothes tore off. You're going to get some cuts on you. You're going to be bleeding pretty bad. But eventually, the parachute has to open. That is a promise of God. That ain't a theory, that's a promise. His promises is true, because listen to me. You cannot name one single thing God has not gotten you through.
You've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in your abilities. You've got to believe in your service, your company, your ideas. Unquestionably, you must have faith. It's hard. Yes, it's hard. It's difficult. Yes, right. And it's worth it.